Hey, my friend, thanks so much for joining me for today's episode. I'm joining you here from my office in my co working space, by the way, with a fresh cup of hot jasmine tea. So I hope that wherever and whenever you're listening, you're also drinking something that's soothing your soul, calming your spirit, and giving you some joy. So, anyway, let's dive into today's episode. Have you ever wondered whether you have something valuable to share with your readers? Well, if that's the case, and that's probably the case with all of us at one time or another, if that's the case, I think you're going to relate to this question from email subscriber Susan. She says, any advice for when you just don't feel like you have anything worth saying? It seems like to have all been said before. Well, Susan, thanks for the question. And again, I think we can all probably relate to that at one time or another. Whenever I'm feeling like my well is dry, creatively speaking, it usually means that I'm tired and I need some help lowering the bucket into the well, so to speak. And I need some prompts to help pull ideas out of me. And here are three things that work really well for me. Number one is I ask a friend to interview me. So I'm actually doing this for a short book project that probably will come out next year. It's not actually related to anything else that I'm working on in my writing or in my business, but it's just a short book on a very specific topic. And I have lots of raw content for this book already, but I've also asked three different friends to prepare some questions and interview me actually for the book. And I will probably include those interviews as a bonus resource or a section of those transcripts in the book or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with that material, but I do know that whenever people ask me questions, it pulls ideas and stories out of me that I wouldn't have thought of otherwise. So I think having people interview you can be enormously powerful. Number two, whenever the creative well has run dry, I take a walk. In addition to being great exercise, walking helps me process ideas and experiences, and somehow just being active, even just going for a drive, much less going for a walk. For me, being in motion pulls out ideas. It kind of gets things unstuck mentally and emotionally and psychologically. And I find it to be a really, really big help in my creative process. Whenever I'm going for a walk or even if I'm going for a drive, sometimes I ask myself questions like these. What am I learning? What is frustrating me and why? Where do I need to do better? Who do I need to forgive? And who have I possibly wronged who may need to forgive me? In which case, I would need to ask for their forgiveness or apologize. Where are my own perceptions about a situation wrong? So, those, of course, aren't the only questions that I ask, but those are just a few that come to mind right now. But whenever I go for a walk and I'm trying to get unstuck, I'll make voice notes on my phone as I walk if I'm putting together ideas or just reflecting, just to get down some thoughts. And those are great seeds for material. Then, number three, I ask AI to generate questions on whatever topic I'm thinking about. I actually did this just the other day when I asked AI to give me a list of prompts for a future book that I'm thinking about doing. And those questions helped me see some angles that I hadn't considered. So, my suggestion is if your well has run dry, creatively speaking, pick one of these ideas and give it a shot. The ideas are usually out there. It's just that sometimes you need a better bucket to help retrieve them. And I hope this helps you break through your creative blocks. Just as a quick side note, some of my favorite podcast episodes and my daily emails, they start off as reader or listener questions, and I would love to hear your question. Generally, if you have a question about writing or publishing or the creative process or any of the things that you know that I talk about on a regular basis, I would love to hear from you. You can shoot me an email at kent@kentsanders.net. I would genuinely love to hear your question and would love to use it on a future episode. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.